Hey Bricks, it's Bricklink here, and welcome to episode 3 of Building Middle-earth in LEGO. My voice is actually a bit cracky right now because I currently have a fever, but nonetheless, we're going to continue building Middle-earth in LEGO. So we're going to start building Amon Hen within this episode, and I just can't wait to get started. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into this video. So of course you can see Boromir attacking two of the Uruk-Hai soldiers with the helmets on. Of course we get those nice sword pieces, and I always was a big fan and have been still up to this day of these sword pieces. Really cool molds for these swords, of course, of the Uruk-Hai. So definitely a huge fan of that. And of course we get the wonderful Hobbit minifigures. We get Merry and of course Pippin. These are valuable minifigures with of course lots of epic detailing. And I especially like, of course, the difference in hair color, as well as, of course, the double-sided face. And they're actually throwing rocks at the Uruk-Hai right over here. Two actually are hit. So those are direct hits, of course, as Treebird would call it right there. That's definitely something sick. Of course, we get Boromir with his shield print over there as well. That's also quite nice. And he actually needs to watch out a bit, because if we're going to zoom in on Boromir, you can't see arrows yet, but someone is lurking in the background. Of course, we got Alerts lurking in the background. This is my custom Alerts minifigure, and he's actually just a regular Uruk-Hai with, of course, the torso, and we get the brown arms. And I do want to warn you, because if you try to remove these arms from the original LEGO Alerts minifigure, the torso actually tends to break, and that's the main reason why one of my Alerts minifigures is broken. So do be careful, be cautious with, of course, removing those arms. Of course, the legs are actually plain simple. I do need to get some official LEGO Uruk-Hai legs for that. I actually used some plain legs without printing. We get the quiver on the back. Also should use a black quiver for that, and of course this regular Uruk-Hai hairpiece, and for the rest is actually just the Alerts minifigure with a black bow. And I also would like to get the hairpiece from Keeley. That would also be quite nice for this minifigure. So definitely a great custom Alerts fig to add within Amon Hen. So we got this entire scene set up right there. Of course, we're also going to have the scene with Gimli and Legolas fighting some Uruk-Hai. That's also going to look quite nice. So definitely something to look forward to. I really love the fact that I'm going to be able to display Gimli and Legolas just battling with each other within this some sort of contest, actually trying to beat each other at the kill count of getting as many kills as possible. That's definitely something really cool. And then, of course, finally, we're going to display the scene with Aragorn and, of course, Frodo, where actually Frodo is going to just wander off, and Aragorn is going to actually sort of tell him how he feels about, of course, the Fellowship and the fact that Frodo needs to go on his own. So definitely a great scene, and I would love to display that, of course, with that building within Amon Hen. That's also something quite nice. And then we're going to have the Uruk-Hai right over here. So this is going to be a smaller location, actually, in comparison to, of course, a Bag End right over there on my shelf. And, of course, the huge Blackgate Mock. It's not going to be something that big, but it's also going to be something quite nice to add to my LEGO The Lord of the Rings shelf. So let's go ahead and get started with this video. So actually over here on my table, I actually cleared it to have some space for building. I got a ton of pieces. So let's go ahead and take a look at these pieces. So these are all of the pieces, and let's go ahead and see what's inside. So we got a ton of these green plates, a couple of random light bluish gray pieces and bricks. We had a lot of dark bluish gray in here as well. So definitely a lot of stuff. Also something quite interesting. We get these 2x2 bricks, but the cylinder ones actually, so the round pieces. That's also quite nice. So I'm actually just going to go and empty these bags onto the table because we're going to go and build this today. I'm actually going to just have a fun time with building. So let's just go ahead and empty the first bag. This is the first bag with a ton of pieces. I'm actually going to go and empty this bag, the smaller bag actually over there in the back of my table. So let's just go ahead and throw all the contents out. We got a smaller bag inside too, actually, so that's also quite nice. Let's go ahead and remove the pieces from this bigger bag. Actually, we'll have time to remove those smaller pieces from those other bags as well. We just go ahead and put down the camera, give you a bit of an ASMR without using my camera stand. Here we go, a bit of a raw building video. Here we go. We got those parts actually right there, so a big pile of pieces. So we already have a lot of pieces to build Amon Hen with. Can't wait to do this. Of course, we get this final small bag. What's inside here? Let's just go ahead and open this as well. Quite curious to see what's inside. Here we go. We got a couple of plates. So let's go and recap actually. So this one is actually filled with almost actually only plates. We got a couple of these strange plate pieces. I do believe they're actually going to be used for on top of course, that sort of monument building. Then we get these, a lot of these actually, these bricks with the brick decoration. Also, really adore these pieces and definitely awesome for mock building. We get these arch pieces, of course, these pieces which I was talking about for pillars, a couple of dark bluish gray pieces actually, these strange pieces. I don't know what we're going to use these for. We got these 2x2 bricks, the 1x2 pieces with of course the holes over there actually, so you can just put them in the Technic holes as you can see right like so. Let's just go ahead and do that. So here's that piece right here, of course, with the hinge. Also quite nice, the hinge piece. Then we got a couple more of those bricks, plates and bricks, some arch pieces, some round pieces actually right over here. And then actually that's that. Of course, we get some greenery within this bag and some of these plates and such. We get some round heads, I believe, for a statue or something like that. I'm not really sure. But those are all of the pieces within this hole, and we're just gonna go and get right into building before my voice is actually gonna get really bad. So let's go ahead and get right into building Amon Hen. Alright everyone, we're finished with building and I'm quite satisfied with this entire mock, so let's go ahead and take a look at Amon Hen. So first of all, we can actually see Aragorn fighting some Uruk-Hai, just running up to him, and he's already slain this Uruk-Hai behind him right here. Of course, he's Henry from Brotherhood Workshop. I don't know if you recall that, but that was of course the pitiful Uruk-Hai who actually got slain, asking for the signature of Aragorn. And of course, we get all of the Uruk-Hai swarming in. We get these two graves actually, which are also quite nice builds. I love the detailing on here, as you can see with the plates on the sides, as well as of course all the detailing on the top with those wedge plates. Now there was some sort of part which I was supposed to put on here, but it actually didn't fit, so that is something you might want to actually take a look at when building Bricklink instructions, because usually pieces fit, but sometimes they don't, and this was that case. But overall, the tomb looks really nice. Of course, I don't know actually if you can remove the top of the tomb. I don't think so actually, so it's just a solid piece. I actually got two of those tomb pieces, as you can see right here, if we're gonna zoom out. Excuse me. So we got a lot of really cool stuff in here, and that's definitely something amazing. And we're gonna go ahead and take a look at the next scene. So we got Gimli and Legolas, of course, competitioning each other. So they're sort of playing a little game right here in slaying, of course, the most Uruk-Hai. So Gimli is clearly winning right over here. But guess what? Legolas is on top of some wall piece right there, and he's actually shooting the Uruk-Hai with his bow and quiver. And look, he already has a direct hit right there. That's definitely insane. So he's in the lead. So then we get another scene over there in the back, which you're definitely going to love, of course. And I'm just going to show it from this angle. Of course, you can see Mary and Pippin, but there's an Uruk-Hai running up to them. And I don't know if you remember from the movie, but there actually was an Uruk-Hai with an axe. Now, this is the Uruk-Hai with an axe. Of course, these Uruk-Hai have the pikes on their helmets, but this Uruk-Hai right here, I just really had to include the axe. I mean, that's such a cool scene to have Boromir running in and saving them. As you can see, Boromir is running towards the hobbits. That's also quite nice. A couple of Uruk-Hai actually still preventing him from doing that, but eventually he's gonna save the hobbits for a moment. And of course we got Lurtz, and he's actually noticing Boromir, so Boromir really needs to watch out because Lurtz is on his way with a couple of Uruk-Hai henchmen. And then finally we get this entire scene right over here. It is really special. Of course we get Frodo, and he's also quite a nice minifigure. And then we get this entire sort of structure. I don't know what it is supposed to be. Maybe a sort of tomb or a temple or something from, of course, Gondor. But definitely an amazing build. I love the detailing on this big piece on the front. And it definitely looks great with those spikes. You can actually still move them. So you can pose them up in the way you would like to see them. So either way, if you prefer them like this or just all the way in, you can just utilize all of those movable techniques. And I'm actually going to show you the build up close. So we get these pillars. As you can see, those pillars look really nice. I love the pillars. We get some grass on the ground as well. Some of those grass pieces all around. You can actually also see those pieces with the brick decoration on there. And some rock work actually with those green slopes. Also quite nice. We get some more grass pieces. And then what's actually quite interesting about this build is, of course, the stairs leading up. So as you can see, here are the stairs leading up, so you can just have Aragorn running upstairs with some Uruk-Hai chasing him like in the movie. That would also be quite nice. Or just have Frodo hiding behind this, and of course seeing the Eye of Sauron right over there with Barad-dûr. That would also look really sick. But yeah, this is the small temple right here, and I do think it's quite nice. It's really symbolic for Amon Hen, so definitely going to display this on my Lego shelf in just a second. Of course, we get this tomb piece, which I already have shown you, and then finally we get this piece right here, and it's actually quite interesting because it looks really cool, as you can see, with those arches, but you can actually just make one big structure out of it, and it still looks great, as you can see, and Amon Hen likes. But I actually prefer to have all of the pieces separated a bit, so it actually really creates a nice ambience for the entire Battle of Amon Hen. But these are all of the builds I created within building Amon Hen of Building Middle-earth in LEGO. So I'm actually going to add some other location for Amon Hen as well in the future. But yeah, just stay updated till that. It's going to be really cool. But for now, I got this Amon Hen entire location. And if you want to build this for yourself, you can, of course, go ahead and get the instruction from LEGO Mocklock by clicking the link in the description down below to go to his Rebrickable page where you can purchase the instructions. And with that, you can buy all of these pieces from Bricklink, Brickowl, or anywhere you want. Maybe even pick a brick. But yeah, that's just it. You can get some instructions, collect all of the pieces, and build this magnificent scene right here. So definitely happy with that, especially because LEGO never created Amon Hen. And then over there in the back, actually, we get some spare pieces, actually. I don't know what these are from. Of course, these pieces actually were supposed to go on top of the heads, but they actually, unfortunately, don't fit. So I would recommend using some smaller heads, maybe the cylinder pieces in dark bluish gray. That would probably work. But these pieces are not going to attach to, of course, these round minifigure heads. But nonetheless, really great tombs. And I'm just a big fan of the overall structures of Amon Hen. So I'm actually going to go and put these on my shelf right over there, actually after, of course, transforming my entire Lego room. I'm actually going to have a huge display on my shelf, but for now I'm actually going to keep it here and just enjoy the build and take a look at a couple of scenes. So I really hope you enjoyed watching this episode of Building Middle-earth in Lego, and if you did, of course, let me know by leaving a thumbs up to support it. Go subscribe to Bricklink for more epic content, and of course ring that notification bell to stay updated on all of my videos. And yeah, I will see you all in the next episode of Building Middle-earth in LEGO.
It's in the air like a blazing flare.